What do you got back there?
Just let's see. I got a bunch of Becky Lynch stuff because I'm a massive homer of hers. Some Edge stuff.
Turtles.
Yeah. There's this company that makes rubber ducks out of like.
I've seen those. Yeah. I've seen
this.
that.
This is my pride and joy right here.
Oh, have you seen the movie yet?
Oh yes, I have.
I haven't. Having two kids makes it tough, but
yeah, I've seen two movies all year. It was Deadpool, Wolverine, and
those are the only two I want to see. Those are the only two movies I want to see. Are they both good?
Yes. They are good. I think they Spider-Man 3'd Beetlejuice just a little too much. There's a lot going on. Like, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. It just feels like they had two really great concepts for sequels and decided they were only going to make one movie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what my buddy was saying. He's like, you'll enjoy it because it has the same heart, but there's just something about it. And I'm like, okay, well, don't ruin it.
Yeah. It needed 20 more minutes. I think it
needed. All right.
It was already longer. Anyway. So
fair enough. All right. Sorry to chew up your time. I didn't know.
No, you're good.
Just geeking out over here.
No, you're good. I love this kind of stuff. So appreciate the time here. This is going to be on the all new Takedown on SI YouTube channel. Believe you'll be the first full interview that we drop on that channel. So
awesome
to have you on here. The NXT champion, all ego Ethan Page.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I have to follow Chris Van Vliet. I watched the entire interview. And immediately had to rewrite 9 questions because he asked everything I was going to ask. But I'm watching that interview, and man, there was just such a connection there, but that I felt, listening to your story of working so hard in this industry to achieve your dream. And it's like, I have firsthand experience of working and putting in and doing the grind in an industry that is hard to succeed in, mine being the media industry as a whole. And all of a sudden it's very easy to blink and 15 years has gone by and you're not where you ever thought you were going to be. And sometimes you're not even close, but then all of a sudden, like, boom, like just when you were least expected it, this opportunity came out of nowhere. And that's why I'm here with Sports Illustrated now, chatting with you today. But I am curious, like, so many times over the years, I had that, okay, should I stop this? Should I move on and do something else? I never really figured out what that something else would be. So I kind of want to follow up to Chris's question with you and say, had you given into the suffocation, what do you think Ethan Page would be doing right now if you stop pursuing wrestling?
Ooh, what a good question, honestly, because I've had this conversation with my wife probably I was going to say 1,000 times, but I'm going to give you an honest, probably 15 times, like a genuine, what should we do? I don't know if this is it. Maybe I should look into this. The YouTube channel was a really big part of that, and trying to almost give myself an exit plan. And I don't know if that hurt me or helped me, because now where I'm at right now, I don't want to say given up on all outside projects. I still have a comic book coming out. I would still like to do YouTube projects, but this was my ultimate goal, was getting to the WWE. So now that I'm here, for me to have anything diverting my focus from here would just be a distraction. So I'm in a little bit of a different place. But if I wasn't here and everything kind of flopped, I probably would have started like a YouTube channel / podcast and just ripped apart professional wrestling.
Like everybody else does, right?
And burned a bunch of bridges and made like a bunch of money just telling stories I probably never should have told. So anyone's career that I did not explode on my hypothetical YouTube channel, you can all thank Shawn Michaels for saving your careers, because I definitely would have told everything.
Yeah. Well, there's always a retirement plan, right? So
Hey, so anyone listening to this, make sure I don't retire, or you're all screwed.
It was funny listening to the Van Vliet interview. One, I was both offended by you considering yourself the old guy in the locker room, and I also sympathize, right? Have you caught
You should sympathize, bro, because I am like a square trying to roll. And that like even my wife jokes with me, like I was like, oh, I got Terry Taylor's class tomorrow or whatever, so I'm leaving and packing my bag. And she's just like, have fun doing your rolls. And out the door I go. And I'm a square trying to roll. Like genuinely, I have to now smooth out these edges and get back to having the mobility and all that stuff. So I am the old guy, dude. Don't say that I'm not. My body's telling me you're wrong.
Yeah, well, dude, just sitting in this chair right now, my lower back is screaming at me. But I am curious, like, have you caught yourself, like, with all the young kids in the locker room, have you caught yourself like making outdated pop culture references yet and just wanted to commit suicide almost immediately?
So yeah, yes, I'm getting there, and I've made jokes that have not landed, and I'm like, oh, oh, this is real. But and then I realized there's like a 10-year gap.
Yeah.
I'm 35, and these guys are most of the time around their like 25. But then the coaches are like 40 to 45. So I'm like the weirdo that's like in between
Yes.
everybody getting, I
Yes.
can like float, I'm floating up and down. But I also think that's very beneficial because I understand everybody. So even though I'm in that middle area, I understand the younger guys enough that I can actually translate from the 45-year-olds to
Mhm.
the 25-year-olds, if
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's the exact situation I'm in because I'm 36 and my day job is at a radio station. I work in a newsroom where we have the old dogs and the young pups, and then there's me, like stuck
yeah.
right in the middle. And just this week, I was trying to explain to a coworker who Mel Brooks was, and then I tried to. It's like, okay, well, he made parody movies before the Wayans brothers, and then I'm like, you don't even know who the Wayans brothers are. So I was double whammied on like one fell, like just trying to explain things. And I'm just like, I'm old. But then, my buddy Matt comes in and I'm like, okay, I'm not that old yet. All right. Okay. We're there. But yeah, I know about being the go between and working with older people and younger people. Your
Yeah.
opponent on Tuesday, Trick Williams, he's 30, but he's still
Yeah.
young as far as the wrestling, business is concerned. Less than 3 years in, already NXT champion, great look, knows how to connect with the crowd. You've been around this business for a bit. What's your honest assessment of where Trick Williams is at right now?
Oh, I mean, he's blowing my mind. That's my honest assessment. 3 years in, I don't know, dude. 3 years in, you asked me to do what he's doing, I probably would have panicked and freaked out. But I would have also been 19 years old 3 years in, not 30. It's a little different, but I think he is doing exceptional for someone with such little experience. Someone was telling me like a crazy stat. I think he's had like 100 matches, and then they looked up how many matches I've had, and I've had over 1,000. So
Wow.
we're completely different when it comes to that. Yet in arguably the same position, I just have so much more experience. So I mean, I don't envy him whatsoever to have to learn on the job, especially knowing how important this job is. I mean, for me personally, it's the job I've been fighting for my entire life. So 3 years in to be in that same spot as me, I mean, he should be proud of himself, especially with how well he's doing. And like you said, he connects well with the crowd. Freak athlete, looks great. He's fantastic on the microphone. Has that it factor, star quality. You throw him in the deep end, and I'm sure he'll learn how to swim. He seems like one of those. So I'll give credit where credit is due.
So it's yourself, it's Trick Williams, but you guys are not going to be in the ring by yourselves. A very special guest referee in
Yeah.
Chicago for this first Tuesday. Um, you know, I'm sure we'll talk about a couple of surreal experiences so far in your brief tenure here in NXT, but the fact that CM Punk comes back to wrestling, you guys are both in the same company.
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory, but as far as I can remember, I don't remember a whole lot of interaction, if any, between the two of you. And now you're both on come to WWE, and within a couple of months, now you guys are working together on NXT. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird how things work out in life.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know, maybe it's just my brain works in different ways. I look at CM Punk, and my first thing I want to do is put a microphone in his hand. I look at Ethan Page, the next thing I want to do is put a microphone in his hand, and I just want to see them talk. And the fact that I got to do that, I think maybe WWE has the same thought process, is like, look, we're going to let this guy talk, we're going to let this guy talk, and we'll see what happens. And to me, it's like these two characters, Ethan Page and CM Punk, I would love to see more and what they're able to do with each other, accomplish with each other. But October 1st, that's not really the case. One is a referee and the other is defending their championship in the main event.
Sure.
So if CM Punk wants to go to Chicago and try and make everything about himself, like he usually does, I'll happily let him, because the more eyes watching on October 1st on the CW network, the better off I'll be. And the more eyes on Ethan Page means the more attention I can steal away from CM Punk trying to get his glory in his hometown again for the probably 30th time now.
Millionth? Yeah.
Yeah.
How surreal was it? It is the debut on the CW for NXT. How surreal was it to see your face on the side of a NASCAR?
That's like so nutty to me, because it's like a thing that you never in your wildest dreams would be like, yeah, that's gonna happen. And then, like, it's who's ever like, you know what would be sweet if they just put my face on the side of a NASCAR, and not only on the side of a NASCAR, but from the former champion, who's probably going to win this one too. So you'll probably see Ethan Page's grin crossing the finish line in first place. I'm super hyped about that. And there's also the WCW, WWF back in the day. They used to put out the diecast cars, and they used to have deals with toy companies to have their little. I want this car made into a little toy. That's my real dream.
There you go.
But yeah, it blew my mind. That was also another thing that, like, where people come out of the woodwork to congratulate you. The NASCAR one was huge. That was like like you broke into a different cultural phenomenon, and it's different worlds coming together, and NASCAR has its own audience and fan base. So I'm super hyped that I got to be exposed to that.
Kind of missed opportunity, I think, though. They should have done like the full Talladega Nights and put you on the windshield, just like
the windshield, like, so it looks like I'm driving.
Yeah. Man. But regardless, there's going to be a lot of, I had a chance to chat with Shawn Michaels about this. Just the first of many, kind of crossover opportunities. I know you already got to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game, and I know that was a big moment for you. Any kind of weird thing, like bucket list item that you hope you might be able to get to cross off before you inevitably move up to the main roster?
I mean, you say weird, but this shouldn't be weird. I think this should be like a natural thing that is going to happen. I want to act on some of these shows on the CW. Okay. Even just popping in for an episode or two, and eventually earning my spot on a TV show. I would love that, especially just the fact that we're collaborating with the CW. They have so many great shows. I'd be happy to do that, and you could tell it's happening just because you got NASCAR that's on the CW. They've got their whole sports area that they're trying to build. The best thing would be to get these stars on these shows. Hell, get some NASCAR drivers to act in these shows too. We could just do a giant collaboration with all of these big companies on the CW network. I'd be happy to do that.
Hey, if Liv Morgan can get brutally murdered by Chucky on the USA Network, I mean, anything is possible. Just got to throw it out into the ether, and anything can come to fruition. You can attest.
And I did. Yeah, of course. That's why I'm talking to Sports Illustrated right now, trying to get on a TV show, pal.
There you go. I will make sure to include that in the article.
Yeah.
That'll be my headline. Ethan Page is pitching to be on television. There you go. More Ethan Page on TV. Yeah. We'll get that done for you. One thing I always do before I run out of time, one thing I always like to ask folks in NXT is, them getting to work with Shawn Michaels. You called him greatest professional wrestler of all time. In my limited interactions with him, he just seems like one of the coolest dudes on planet Earth. And, you know, somebody who is willing to listen to talent, offer advice, but also take in, you know, what the talent wants to do, look at their vision, and, you know, instead of changing it up or saying that his way is better, maybe taking it in a direction to make it a little bit better. What has your experience been like working with Shawn thus far?
I mean, I'll happily say that he's very collaborative. But I will also say I appreciate that everyone in this building, like right now, I'm recording this with you in the performance center. Everyone in this building is here to execute Shawn Michaels' vision as our leader. And I'm happy to have a leader with a plan, a direction, and to incorporate me in that direction. So for me, I feel like he's doing a great job. And to be able to create so many moments for me in my career in such a short amount of time is just a testament to trusting the process of Shawn is the guy, what he says goes. And if anything ever comes to mind or I want to have a conversation with him, he's right there, easily accessible. Yeah, I'm very happy to work under Shawn Michaels, 1000%.
All right, man. Well, it's been a blast to get to see you on TV doing your thing. I mean,
Heck yeah.
I know you already talked about this with Chris as well, and I'll keep putting over Van Vliet because he's the GOAT, right? But like, you genuinely seem like you are in the place that you're meant to be. This seems like a perfect fit for you, and I'm very happy to see that you're happy and thriving, good sir.
It feels like that too, honestly. And the more comfortable I get, the bigger my smile grows.